so who likes mac and cheese? Like mac and cheese? I like mac and cheese. Who likes tigers? I really love tigers. Who likes Oreos? I like Oreos too. Who likes orangutans? Cool. So what does mac and cheese, Oreos, orangutans, and tigers have in common? It's palm oil. Now, if you're like me, a year and a half ago, I had no idea what palm oil is or was. So, what palm oil is palm oil is a type of vegetable oil that's found in all type of products. You can find it in lotions, you can find it in lip balm, you can find it in Oreos, you can even find it in Flintstone vitamins. So you can find it in a lot of things. So, palm oil itself isn't bad for us or the environment, however how it's processed is. So, what we're going to do now, and I like doing this a lot, so we're going to take a mental trip. So everybody's going to take a mental trip. So, take a deep breath. Let it go. Okay, now close your eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a trip. We're going to take a trip. So we're going to go all the way over to Asia. When we go to Asia, we're going to go down. We're going to go to these places called Indonesia and Malaysia. And we're going to stop. So we're there. So open your eyes. So we're there. We're there in these places. So globally, 85% of all palm oil is processed in Indonesia. So how palm oil is processed, what they do is they have to make these big, huge plantations. In Indonesia and also the neighboring island of Malaysia, it's a series of islands, they are packed with forest. Forest and forest and forest. And that's where they get most of their palm oil from. So what they do is they build these huge plantations. So they're tearing down all the forests by deforestation. Deforestation is when you tear down the forest, but you don't put a forest back. You build something else. So they're building these huge plantations. So who plays soccer? Play soccer? Soccer. You play soccer. I'm sure you're much better than I am. I'm absolutely terrible at soccer. So can you imagine how big a soccer field is? Now imagine 78 of those soccer fields. That's how many or how much forest they're cutting down every hour. So they're tearing down a lot of this forest. So they're just tearing it down to build these plantations to process this palm oil. So who lives in the forest? Exactly. You have the tigers, the orangutans, the hornbills, all these animals live in the forest. So if they're tearing down all of this forest, what's going to happen to the animals? Exactly. They're not going to have any place to live and their habitat is going to be destroyed, so they'll become endangered. Can anybody tell me what endangered means? Exactly. Endangered means that an animal is at a high risk of becoming extinct. So, can anybody tell me what extinct means? Exactly. Extinct means that animal is no longer with us. So, if they're cutting down all this forest, a lot of these animals can become endangered or extinct, especially the orangutan. So the orangutan is 2 species left on this planet, and 100% of all orangutans that's left in the wild are from the islands of Indonesia and Malaysia. And so, the islands are called Sumatra and Borneo. So, about 85% or 80% of all the orangutans are in Borneo, and Borneo is about 55,000 orangutans left, the Borneo orangutan. That's not a lot at all. However, if we go all the way over to Sumatra, it's only about 5,000 left. And so they're highly endangered, which means that if we don't do something immediately, that this animal won't be around for much longer. So if anybody ever seen an orangutan, they're pretty cool creatures. Can you tell me something cool about them? Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Ah, yes, I didn't know that up until like maybe a year and a half ago too, so I think that's really cool. So everyone, hold out the hands. Hold them out, hold them out, hold them out. Orangutans, they have their own special fingerprint, just like we do. So just like your fingerprint is different than your fingerprint, it's different from mine, so is the orangutans. Another thing, everybody, show me a big smile. Bigger than that, bigger than that. Yeah. Orangutans, they have 32 teeth just like we do. But by far, the coolest thing about orangutans is that they actually do the same things that we do. Like they smile like we smile. They eat their food with utensils like we do. Like they make their utensils with their sticks. They make their forks and their knives. They can even make a little cup out of a leaf to drink water with. So that's really, really cool. But they also get sick like us. And when they get sick, they have special bacteria that they use to fight off those diseases a little bit better than we can. But they can also get the flu and the cold and a lot of these diseases that we can get. So if we research them and watch them and see how they fight off these diseases, we can actually use that to make us healthy and fight off these diseases as well. So by saving the orangutans and actually watching them in the wild and keeping them around, we can actually become healthy products, read your products. When you read the back of the label, and I do this all the time when I go with my mom or when I go shopping by myself, I look at the back and I see what ingredients in it. If it has palm kernel or palm oil or some type of vegetable oil in it, check and see what it is. If it's palm oil, you know it could potentially be hurting the orangutan. And also sometimes it'll say vegetable oil, but if you read a little bit further, it'll tell what kind of vegetable oil. Palm oil could be in it, or it could be coconut oil or soy oil. But not all companies or products that have palm oil in it is bad for the orangutans. Some companies have committed to actually using sustainable palm oil, meaning they get the palm oil from plantations that don't cut down forests to harm the orangutans, so they use an alternate way. Like instead of using palm oil, they use soy or they use canola oil. There's a lot of cool companies on here. McDonald's, Pepsi, another one is Nestle, and as you can see, I love Nestle, I love their hot cocoa. So some really cool companies that's doing it. So you can use those alternate companies or buy from those companies, or you can actually just use the alternate. Like instead of using vegetable oil, I've converted my whole family to using canola oil, and it's much, much healthier for you, and it's better for the orangutan and the environment. But by far, the most important thing that you can do is use your voice. It's the most powerful thing that you'll ever have, so you have to use it. So, it's these really cool. First of all, who's Girl Scouts? Girl Scouts, where my Girl Scouts at? Girl Scouts? I love the cookies. I always buy at least 5 boxes every year. I know that's incredibly greedy of me, but I always do. So there's these 2 Girl Scouts, and their names was Madison and Rhea. They were 11 years old, and they love selling Girl Scout cookies. They just love selling them. However, one day they turned over the back of the Girl Scout cookies and they noticed that it had palm oil in it. So you know what they started doing? They started talking about it. They started telling their friends about it. They started telling their parents about it. They started telling their friends' parents about it. And they just kept talking until finally they got noticed. And they didn't get noticed just by their mom, their dad, or their town, or even their city, but they got noticed by it. They got noticed on a worldwide level. So the United Nations forums on Forest Secretariat said, you know what, these girls are doing some really cool things to help save the orangutans, so what we're going to do is we're going to reward them. So they named them the Forest Heroes of North America. Meaning they're just not just the forest heroes of their town, or their state of Michigan, or even the United States. They're the Forest Heroes of North America, meaning they're forest heroes of the USA, Canada, and Mexico. So like, that's a really, really prestigious honor. Like, it's really cool to be like, I'm the forest hero of this whole nation. That's a really cool honor. And they have to fly out and they talk about it. And right now they have over 57,000 followers that's helping them. And they're 16 years old now, so they've been doing it for a few years now. So it's really, really cool. So get out there. Let them know about palm oil. Raise their awareness so we can save the orangutans. I really, really, really hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys have a lot of questions for me. You can come on up. I'll answer all those questions. You can look at my cool products. I also have a pamphlet with all the information on it as well. Thank you guys, and have a great one.